Knowledge sheet number 65, 5th September 1996, Bangalore Ashram, India. Whether you win or lose. After the satsang, a small group of about 150 people met with Gurudev and were playing with the words and arguing with him and telling him how mean he is that he doesn't spend much time with them and yet has stolen their hearts. Gurudev kept winning by twisting their arguments and people laughed like anything. Gurudev said, "When you win or lose an argument with me, you're still laughing. Why? Because there is a total sense of belongingness. When there is a total sense of belongingness, real play happens. Winning or losing is irrelevant. Normally, what happens to you when you lose an argument? You're sad and upset, hurt and angry. But when you lose or win an argument with me, you're still happy. How come? 1. There is a sense of belongingness. 2. Your love stands out and everything else becomes secondary, like perfection, comfort, desires, etc. Isn't it? 3. Your ability to put the being before the happening. 4. And your confidence in the ultimate good. Can you have the same attitude with everyone? Can't you have the same attitude with everyone? Today is Krishna's birthday. Krishna's life was full of conflicts, and yet he kept smiling and dancing. May you dance through the conflicts and contribute to this planet. Newsflash: Bombay was in a hot mood for a wild satsang, but in cool weather. Then on to Surat, which was hectic. The spectacular decorations and the vibrant satsangs thrilled the thousands who gathered to get a glimpse of Gurudev. The next morning in Baroda, Gurudev addressed a rapt audience of 700 senior executives. In the evening satsang, the assembly hall of the Palace of Baroda was an apt royal setting. Thanks to Karthik for setting up closed circuit TVs, the overflowing crowd did not feel lost. Even a curious Anne could not walk into the jam-packed satsang in Ahmedabad, as thousands basked in devotion and knowledge. And Gurudev stood up majestically to address them. What a space! Today is Krishna's birthday, and all planes are leading to Bangalore. Such a beautiful knowledge sheet. Whether you win or lose. There are so many times that this has happened. You try to win a war of words with Gurudev, and he always has the last laugh. And it's so nice because whenever you lose to someone you love, then you actually feel nice. Every parent plays with their children and wants to lose because it brings more joy. So Gurudev says, why do we still love? Why do we still feel happy? Because there is a sense of belongingness. Wherever there's a sense of belongingness, we always feel connected. And then it feels that yes, this is all perfect and that it's right to lose. Normally, what happens when you lose an argument? You're sad and upset, hurt and angry. This is the normal thing. In the world, of course, when we lose, we feel upset. But where there is no belong, when you feel that it's the other. So one reason is there is a sense of belonging. Second, your love stands out and everything else becomes secondary, like perfection, comfort, desires, etc. This is so true. Wherever there is love, then everything else becomes secondary. When we lose, what happens? Some discomfort comes, all of those comes. So there is a price to pay, there is discomfort. Yet, when you take that love away, you say, well, love is much more valuable than the discomfort. So discomfort is negative, love is positive, and the opportunity cost of losing that love is much more than the cost of experiencing that discomfort. So love stands out and everything else becomes secondary. The third one I loved, your ability to put the being before the happening. We exist. There is something in us that is untouched by everything. If you have a cold, if you're unwell, if you're well, if it's cold, if it's warm, there is something that's untouched. When we're able to be in touch with that, then stability comes. Then winning or losing doesn't touch that something that's untouched. And if we are able to be with that, then life becomes easy. Then winning and losing loses its significance. Loses its significance. And fourth, your confidence in the ultimate good. When we have this idea that the best is going to happen to me, I am totally cared for, then all temporary winning and losing becomes insignificant. For example, if you're playing chess, sometimes you sacrifice a pawn because you know that you're going to get something in return. Sometimes you sacrifice a horse for a pawn because that's what is going to give you the best thing. So, a lot of times, when you know that ultimately you're going to win the game, then these small winning and losing does not affect us so much. And then Gurudev says, can't you have this attitude with everyone? Why only with Gurudev? That for me is the crux of this knowledge sheet. We when we look at Gurudev, there is a certain way we feel, there's a certain attitude, there's a certain blossoming of consciousness. But if I'm able to have that with many, many more people, then my life blossoms permanently. It's very easy to say when you are there, then everything is perfect. Others, no, no, no. Then it's like we are limiting ourselves. That could open up, and Gurudev is not saying that you should fall at everyone's feet, you should all. No, no. But if that attitude is there, that winning or losing loses its significance. There is so much belongingness with each and every person on this planet. That truly allows us to blossom, isn't it? Very good. I can see there are some questions, some points. Okay, so if someone wants to unmute and ask or say something, please go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
Let me just. So, what if like the sense of belonging is just one-sided and from the other person? The, the love
Yeah.
between.
Absolutely. Sometimes you look at this, there is so much belongingness from one side and the other side doesn't respond. If your belongingness is conditional, if that other person belongs to me, then I'll belong to them, then it will always stay weak. But if I say, well, I belong to you, when I feel the belongingness, oh, this person, I belong, then the winning or losing loses its significance for me. And then I blossom. For me, it's beneficial. So if I feel the belongingness with someone, is it beneficial to them? Yes, for sure. But it's much more beneficial for me to do all of that. So if I look at it in a certain way, when I see the divine everywhere around me, it benefits me. Whether it benefits the other person or not is secondary. If I'm able to accept people as they are, does it benefit me? Of course it does. How will it change the situation? Kashi Bhaiya, all this is very nice, very airy fairy, but finally I want to get my cake on the table and I want to eat it too. I want to make sure that मैं फायदे में रहूं भाई, ज्ञान सब करके मैं अपना पूरा धन दे दूं सबको, ये नहीं चलेगा. Maybe for you it's okay, you have beard, long hair, you are staying in the ashram with such a beautiful background. For you it's okay, but for we have to run the company, we have to do everything in the world. If I start doing all of this, I won't survive. No, that's not true. All this knowledge does not mean that we should be unfit for society. It doesn't mean that I should give away my wealth, I should be naive. No. But when winning or losing becomes so important to me, then I get bogged down with life. But if I'm able to rise up above, then it makes me, the way I look at it becomes different. For example, if a project succeeds and I become very happy, and in that joy, then I say, oh wow, maybe it brings overconfidence and then it creates a problem for me. Supposing I lose a lot of money and maybe I get bogged down by it. I start thinking, oh my god, what will happen to me? I'm now finished, this, that. Then we lose the ability to take care of that situation. But when I say, well, come what may, even if I'm losing right now, I know in the bigger picture something will take care of me. That confidence allows me to be more sane, and in that sanity comes a wiser decision. So, whether winning or losing, winning can also destabilize you as much as losing. And when we recognize that, there's nothing wrong in winning, and there's nothing that you should lose once in a while just to make sure that the knowledge sheet becomes true. No, no. Yet, that centeredness that comes helps us to go through all of this in a much better way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For example, like after the when I did the VTP program and then got to the courses, then you build a relationship with them and etc. etc. So a sense of belongingness, a responsibility towards them comes sets in. But the person kind of finds it weird, like when you follow up and being so concerned about them like a baby. That's sort of a
Absolutely. What I would say here is that your actions are the second step. But here, your acceptance is how you feel, your attitude. Maybe through your acceptance, your action could be something completely different. Like, for example, my sense of belongingness with a child will make me do different actions with the child vis-a-vis my sense of belongingness with my aunt will make me do different things with her. If I start saying the same "ululululu" with my aunt, she will say, are you crazy? But my expression of belongingness with a child is "ulululu" like that. But with an aunt, it's completely different. So, the skill in life is to see that my sense of belongingness, and through that what action should come out. That is a completely different step. Usually people get upset with our actions, not understanding the belongingness that drives those actions. Does that make sense? So you don't need to change the belongingness, definitely you can change the action. What if some people have damaged you purposely and then they accuse you for not showing belongingness to them? You Yeah. Of course, all of this happens. The world is as it is. We expect the world to be enlightened. Well, this person should be enlightened. How come this person is acting like that? Wake up. Everyone is a work in progress. And the way I look at it, when we give people that space to improve, then for us it becomes easier. So let people be where they are. Instead of saying you should apply the knowledge, we should turn it around and say, let me apply the knowledge. When I apply the knowledge, it makes it life easier for me. And if people are doing something that causes pain to you, work on that pain and be skillful in the world. You don't need to say, "Ah, bel mujhe maar, come hit me." No, you can do all the steps that you need to take to keep yourself safe. At the same time, from your side, be open, and that way we save our mind at all costs. And it might seem fantastic. It might say, well, Kashibhe, all this is not possible. But when we keep doing our sadhana, when we keep doing our practices, our meditations, all of this becomes possible very easily. Great. Anything else?
Hi, Kashi Bhaiya, Nidhi here.
Yeah, Nidhi.
So I just wanted to tell you that exactly what you just said was at a dining table conversation half an hour ago. And it is so uncanny and not anymore because now I do believe, not now, I know that there are answers which are going to come all the time. But I was just thinking of what you just said, that the belongingness is the love in our heart, which is always there. But when it comes to interaction, I have to protect myself because, see, in this lockdown, what has happened is we are thrown in situations and environments where we may not want to spend 24 hours together, but unfortunately, we are spending all our time. And you're looking at everything in a very so closely that somehow the faults are more visible. And
Yeah,
that causes a little bit of friction. And but somehow I just feel that when you override that friction and say, no, the love is what matters and everything else is secondary. I don't
absolutely.
get into that trap. Then you can actually live in a family very, very beautifully. Otherwise, I've seen
Absolutely.
how we get even irritable with why is this not made to my liking and why it's made to X's liking and how it can trigger thoughts in the mind.
So
So
totally.
just that and your the thing about belongingness, just being in a space of love and in behavior, in interaction, exercising the skill. So when I need to be right without being, as they say, na, sacha bano, acha nahi bano. So I'd
Exactly.
rather be sacha and get that brickbat once than try to please, but inside kurte rehna. I mean, if I have to put it
Exactly.
like that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yes, thank you for reinforcing that. It was just thank you.
Perfect timing. Gurudev does this
Perfect
always.
timing, really.
Great, Nidhi. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. A knowledge sheet for next time. Which one should we take up? So then 24 is the one for this week. See. So what's 24? Let's see. 1924. Who are you? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, or Guru? This is a very beautiful one. I remember when it was being made. So, yes, let's take this up. Knowledge sheet number 24. Who are you? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, or Guru for next time?